Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about how saying no is self-love. Saying no is self-love. It's like, how come? Now, I'm doing this broadcast in February, which is the month of love. It's also Black History Month. And I'm going to be talking about saying no and how it's self-love. So if you are a people pleaser or a recovering people pleaser, you want to listen to this. Now, we talk about love a lot, right? And in February, we talk about love and all that. And this February 2021, I'm focusing on self-love. Self-love. In the past, I've done, events and videos and launched books around the theme of love between two people, a man and a woman. But this month, we're taking a different turn and looking at the concept of self-love and how, when you love yourself better, you're a more empowered person overall. So today, I'm going to be talking about saying no is self-love. Saying no is self-love. Now, so I'm going to give you three reasons why you should say no and incorporate the word no more into your life. I'm also going to give you 3 changes you need to make in order to be able to be stronger in your no, in order to be able to say no and be taken seriously, in order to be able to say no and not back down if, it's something that you really don't want to do, or if you don't have the time, space, or energy to do whatever it is. So, number 1, when you say no to low-level requests, you have time and space for high-level requests. Okay, you are able to better navigate high-level requests. Let me give you an example. If a client said to me, we go through coaching and say, well, you need to write a bio. If a client said to me, oh, would you write it for me? The answer to that is no. I could coach you around some of the mindset blocks that need to be removed in order for you to write an effective bio and have it stand strong, but I'm not going to write your bio for you. So for me, a request to write a bio would be a low-level request. A request to help you develop a mindset that will help you craft a stronger bio, absolutely, that I can do. But if I'm busy writing your bio for you, then I don't have the time, the space, or the energy to dedicate to the higher level request, which will actually serve you better. That's just an example. Saying no to low level requests frees you up for high level requests. There's only so much time you have in a day. So if you said yes to everybody's everything, what time do you have to get to what time do you have to get to your thing? What time do you have to get to the things that you really want to do? Okay, now number 2, saying no frees up time, resources like time, money, and energy for other things. I gave an example once. I did this something similar last week on Facebook Live, and I said, I heard this story of somebody who was giving money away for emergencies. Come to find out, the people that were giving money away to built a house and they were still renting. True story. When you say no, you can free up even your money. You can free up time. You can free up energy, and other resources can be made available to you when you learn to say no. No is not, normalize saying no to every request that's asked. At the very least, normalize saying, I'll think about it before you say, oh yes, sure, I'll do that. Normalize saying no because it frees up so much time, energy, and resources to do other things. For example, I meet people who want to write books. I'm an author coach as well. And they say things that I don't have time. Maybe it's not time you don't have, because you probably have 24 hours in a day. Maybe if we work on creating some boundaries around certain blocks of time, you can now have time to write your book. or do whatever project you want to do, or birth whatever idea. A lot of times people aren't birthing their ideas, not because they don't have them, but they don't have enough time and energy to dedicate to them because they've wasted their time on frivolous things that they shouldn't have said no to in the beginning. So, number 3, saying no to non-priorities frees you up for priorities. Let's say your priority is to exercise on Saturday mornings, but then somebody wants you to go to a party. It's like, well, I would love to come to your party, however, I'm otherwise engaged. So saying no frees you up for your priorities, for your own priorities. I tell my clients this all the time. Organize your life around your priorities. If you say, I have no time for this, I have no time for that, the first thing I say is, are you organizing your life around your priorities? What are your priorities? And everybody's priorities are different. Mine may be different from yours. Yours will be different from mine. For example, for me, it is a priority for me not to have a frantic schedule. So I have gaps in my schedule every day. Now, sometimes this means that maybe I'll start working at 7 and not be done to 7 p.m. But in between the day, I've had time to eat. I've had time to go hug my kids. I've had time to maybe even rest a little. It's priority for me not to be frantic. So even if I have to work so-called long hours, it's okay because I've organized my life around my priorities of not being mentally frantic. Ugh, I can't stand it. Feeling rushed all the time. Now, there's times when there's something happening, maybe you have an event or a launch or something and you have to go. But I personally find that living a frantic life is not helpful to me at all. And your priorities are different for you. So, for example, let's say there's some space in my calendar on a certain day that I've specifically decided that that's the space where I'm going to be doing nothing. And someone says, oh, I need to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you available on so and so day? I don't immediately say yes. No, I look at my calendar and say, okay, no, this is space that I've built in for that to be space. I'm not going to put somebody in there. Can we talk next week or the next day or whatever? So this is how you say no to non-priorities so that you can say yes to priorities. It's a priority for me to have space in my calendar. It's a priority for me not to feel rushed. That might not be a priority for you, and that's okay. But knowing your priorities are also helps you be laser focused on them so that if things come in that are not priorities, at the very least, you'll stand and give it a second look. Now, before I go on, this is February of 2020, and I am in the middle of launching a course. I'm so excited for physician moms. It's called Launch Your Happiest Life Series, and you're hearing it first here today. And it's going to take physician moms on a journey of self-love, how to do this stuff, how to build no into your life, how to make self-love a priority so that you can actually live a happy life, so that you can actually free yourself up for more things, so that you can actually live the life you want to live. No more mom guilt, no more burnout, no more stress. So going further, there are 3 things that you have to, how do I put it? 3 ways of thinking that you need to develop in order to be able to effectively say no and have it stick. Number 1, in order to be good at saying no, you must learn to see yourself as more than a workhorse. You are not a workhorse. Because if you don't see yourself as anything but a workhorse, or like I said the other day, a tired meat suit dragging your brain around, then it becomes easier to be abused or be complicit in your own abuse. And what do I mean? If you see yourself as a whole human being who also has needs for rest, sleep, downtime, and other things, then you'll be more careful and you'll be able to say no, like, well, no. And say no without guilt. For example, some people think that being free and being available are the same thing. There's sometimes I'm free, but I'm not available. For example, 10 p.m. at night, I'm usually free. But if you call me at 10 p.m., I will not be picking up your call. because I see myself as more than a workhorse. I'm not a workhorse. I'm me. So yes, I work, and I work, a pretty significant amount of hours. I work hard, right? But I'm not a workhorse. So I have needs for rest, sleep, breaks, fun activities, leisure. That way, when you build these things into your life and somebody comes along and wants to take that space, like, yeah, no, actually tonight I've decided I'm going to watch Camp Cretaceous with my children. So no, you can't call me at 8 p.m. because I will be relaxing at that time. So, where was I? Number 2, in order to be effective at saying no, and in order to not feel guilty about saying no, your need for peace of mind and happiness must come before your need for approval. Approval is overrated. You do not need the approval of all and sundry to live your life. You are an adult. When we were children, we all were all saying, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to do this. When I grow up, I can do anything I want. Well, guess what? You're a grown-up now. Do what you want. Your need for peace of mind must be higher than your need for approval. And some people, their need for approval is higher than their need for their own personal happiness. They would contort themselves into an emotional pretzel to bring someone else happiness, but they would do little to nothing to be happy themselves. But what happens there? That breeds resentment. You're looking for approval, doing all these things because you're going to get approval, but then you become resentful when you're maybe not appreciated, or believe me, I've been there. And a lot of these things I talk about come from the lived experiences of me and or some of my clients. These are things you see all the time. When your need for approval is greater than your need for peace of mind, you will say yes to every nonsensical piece of stupid that comes your way. So, maybe you need to change and decide that, you know what? I need my happiness above XYZ's approval. Now, I'm not saying just run off kind of half-cocked and just do whatever you like. No, you want to do something. There are key people in your life that count when it comes to making decisions. But those key people, it doesn't extend to the world at large. It doesn't. I used to tell one of my friends, you can't have a horizontal list and everybody with number 1 on it. Number 1, this person. Number 1, this person. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are people that are higher on your priority list that you might want to talk about before maybe making a decision or something. But seeking approval, or before you say yes or no. So there'll be some people that, okay, they have a high likelihood of hearing a yes from you because of who they are. Maybe a spouse, maybe, your spouse, your child, your close friends. But that same approval or whatever shouldn't extend to the world at large. That's just not practical anyway. Next, in order to say no, you must be able to see your wants, your needs, your priorities, your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions as important. A problem a lot of people have is that they don't see what their thing is as important. The other people's thing is more important. The other people's dreams are more important. The other people's desires are more important. But you, is not that important. And that's where, self-love comes in. And in my Launch Your Happiest Life series that I'm launching this month, these are some of the things we will be going into. How to see yourself differently in order to be able to exercise self-love, in order to be able to practice self-love, in order to be able to say no, in order to be able to say no. No is not a dirty word. It's not a 4-letter word. It's a word of empowerment for your own self. Because guess what? If you say yes to every request, people don't like you or love you more. They just use you more. So let me go over my points again. So my 3 points. Number 1, when you say no to low-level requests, you have time for high-level requests. When you say no, saying no frees up resources like time, money, and energy in order for you to do whatever you need to do. Saying no to non-priorities helps you focus on priorities. And 3 things you need to build into yourself in order to be able to say no. Number 1, you must learn to see yourself as more than a workhorse. Number 2, you must learn to value peace of mind instead of approval. Number 3, you must be able to see your needs and your priorities, your wants, your dreams, your hopes, your ambitions, your desires as just as important as anyone else's. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Keep an eye out for my course that's coming out. If you're a physician mom, keep an eye out for my course that's coming out February 2021. And let's make it a great month of self-love. Thank you for listening.